Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in today's video, we're going to talk about homeschooling through the hard times. Now this video is a part of a collaboration hosted by Ashley over at Gathered and Grounded and Nikki over at Blessed Homeschool Mess on their joint channel, Two Homeschool Moms. So if you already follow them on their individual channels, please be sure to go follow them on Two Homeschool Moms. They're doing this together and they would really appreciate your support. So make sure you go and follow them. Also, don't forget to watch the playlist because I'm sure there's a mama that's going to speak to your heart today and you may be going through some of the same kind of things that we're sharing. So we are talking about homeschooling through the hard times, and hard can mean so many different things and everybody's heart is different. And so we're just going to talk about the hard that we're going through right now and some of the things that I'm doing for our homeschool. So we have been through hard seasons in our life, but it was the hardest times were when I was teaching. They were, long time ago. And so since we've been homeschooling, we really haven't had any super hard seasons. We've had difficult days, but we haven't really had any hard seasons or any major struggles, thank goodness. But we have recently hit a very hard season. If you haven't watched my past videos, we just found out that my mom has cancer. It really rocked our world because she hasn't felt bad. And it just really has been a whirlwind since about the week before Christmas. Things just haven't stopped, which is good because we want to get her on the track to getting better. But it has been multiple doctor's appointments, hospital stays, body scans, you name it, we've gone to do it. So it has been a whirlwind and it has been a big adjustment period for homeschooling because we are used to doing the same thing every day where we have a great routine down. We know what to expect, and I try really hard to keep our homeschool days intact. I try not to let anything kind of get in the way of it because I do think homeschooling is important and we should put it, as something very important, not just skip it, things like that. So I have struggled and I was like, how am I going to keep this as normal as it can be while also doing everything I can to help out my mom? Now, thank goodness we have a huge support system. I mean, there's my dad, I have a sister, our husbands, we have aunts, my mom has so many friends, there's tons of people to help us out. But I want to do everything I can to be there for her. And so we've got to figure out a way to make it all work. And so this is our hard season. And the one thing I keep telling myself is that hard seasons don't last forever. And this will one day it will be over and we'll be back to what we were doing and it's all going to be okay. So that's just something to kind of remind yourself of, is that these are not going to always last forever. The hard seasons, they go away. And then you go through a nice season where it isn't so hard. So here are some things that I've done for our homeschool. Now remember, I only have one child. He is also a ninth grader, so he is older and I don't have a lot of little kids to tend to. So that would make a difference based on, your situation, how you handle this. So I did write down 3 things that I'm doing to kind of help out during this hard season. Now, the first thing for me was we're not adding anything new during this time. I know a lot of times people like to refresh their homeschools in January to give you something to look forward to finish out the year. But I knew that right now we needed to just stick to what we knew. We do not need to try anything new or anything different during this time. And that's just what works for us. Sometimes you do need to change though. If you're doing a curriculum that is very involved and you need to take a step back, then you may need to make that change. So just because I'm saying we're not adding anything new, if you're in a season where you do need to change it up, that's okay too. But for us, we're not adding anything new, no extra outside things. We're sticking to karate and we're sticking to our normal curriculum. And then I do go to line dance on Tuesday. And I was even thinking about not doing that. But for me, that's a way to take care of myself. And it's something I look forward to every week. So we're just not adding anything onto our plate that doesn't need to be on there right now. So that's my first thing. That way, if there's nothing new, my son knows what's coming up. He knows what's expected every week, and there's no surprises when it comes to our regular stuff. So that's a good thing. And a good thing about sticking to the curriculum that we already use, if he needed to, he could do it independently. Now, we love to work together and we spend the majority of our day doing things together. But if he absolutely needed to, he could do a lot of our curriculum by himself. So that's a plus. All right, the second thing that I'm doing is I'm trying as hard as I can to keep our routine as normal as possible. Now, so far, her scans, her being my mom, her doctor's appointments, all those things have ended up on a day that it was very easy for me to just, like, a lot of it happened when we were on break for Christmas, so we weren't missing school. And then a lot of them have taken place late in the afternoon, so I was able to get our school day done. And that's what I really try to look at. I really try to see what is coming up this next week for my mom, and then how can I keep our schedule as normal as possible. Because my son does have ADHD, and while we're not on a strict schedule, he does thrive with routine. And the minute you get him off that routine, there are some issues. And I will say, as he's gotten older, he gets back on track a lot easier. But if I can avoid that, that's the best thing. So keeping it to where we're getting in those school days and he knows what to expect helps him out tremendously. So I like to look a week ahead if my mom knows something's coming up, and I can look at our day and I can adjust. I can go ahead and tell him up front, hey, Wednesday we have to go to an appointment. So we may have to flip-flop our day, meaning the appointment's in the morning and school's in the afternoon. And usually if you give him a heads up, he's okay with that. If it's a day where it looks like we're going to be there for a very long time, he's 15. He doesn't want to go hang out at the hospital all day. So he might stay at home. So it could be where I could say, hey, get these things done while I'm gone. Or it could be that we just don't do it at all and we just make it up on another day. And a great thing about homeschool curriculum is you can always carry it with you and you can do homeschooling while you're waiting. So we have some flexibility, but I do think it's important to keep it as normal as I possibly can for him. That's my main goal. Let's keep it as normal as we can for as long as we can. But we have talked about how we're going to have to be a little bit more flexible in our days. Some weeks are going to be perfectly normal, like this week was, but then next week may not be. We're just in a state where we don't really know, but we're going to do the best we can. And then the third thing that I'm allowing myself is a ton of grace. I've not ever been in this situation before. Not that we haven't went through hard times. I lost my father-in-law. I've lost my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law did pass away from leukemia years ago, but the situation was very different. My sister-in-law was her main caregiver, and my husband and I were still able to go to work, and it's not the same situation. And so I've never been in this situation before, and I'm like, everybody just needs some grace because we've never dealt with this before. And we really, like I tell my son, I'm just trying to take it day by day, week by week, and we're just trying to do the next best thing, right? I mean, that's what we're really trying to do. So I know that we're going to have to be flexible, and that's okay. It's okay. If our days don't go as I want them to or how I think they should go, it's okay. At the end of the day, we're doing what we need to do for my mom, and we're also still making sure that our son is receiving the education he needs for his 9th grade year. So that's really all we can do. So I don't know what your heart is, but I do know that if you think about it, and you think, what can I do in this situation? Whatever it is, I know you're going to think of the right thing for your situation, whether it be cutting back on curriculum, taking a break, whatever you need to do. So please share in the comments if you've been through a hard season, any tips that you have, if you're going through one now, just whatever it may be. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be that, your mom's sick. It could be having a new baby. I mean, I could imagine that would be tough because when my niece is over here, who's 3, I don't know how anybody gets homeschooling done with a toddler. I don't even know. That would be hard to me. So share in the comments because people do read the comments. Share your hard seasons. Share the things that got you through those hard seasons because it will help somebody out. So please be sure to check out the playlist and also check out Two Homeschool Moms and subscribe to their channel. Remember to please leave me those comments. If you're new and you like homeschool videos and you want to see some high school content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching.